You slept last night, maybe 7 hours, maybe 8, maybe even more. And you woke up this morning and you were still tired. Not a little groggy, not just slow to start, actually deeply exhausted. So you had your coffee, maybe two, and it helped a little, but not really. That heaviness did not go away. It never fully goes away. When was the last time you felt truly rested, truly recovered, truly like you had energy to spare? For most people, they have to think about that for a long time because it has been months, maybe years. This state of low-grade exhaustion has become so familiar that they have just accepted it as normal. They blame their sleep schedule, their diet, their age, their busy life. They try melatonin, they try going to bed earlier, they try cutting caffeine, and nothing really works. Because here is what nobody is telling you, and this is what this entire video is about. You are not tired because your body did not rest. You are exhausted because your nervous system never gets to rest. Sleep and nervous system recovery are two completely different things, and in the world we live in today, most people are getting one without the other. Today, I am going to show you exactly what nervous system exhaustion is, why it is happening to you, what it is doing to your body and mind, and exactly what to do about it. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the most important distinction in this entire video. Sleep and nervous system recovery are not the same thing. When you sleep, your body does incredible work. Your cells repair, your brain clears metabolic waste, your immune system strengthens, your muscles recover, your memories consolidate. Sleep is essential. That is not the question here. The question is, what state is your nervous system in when you go to sleep? And what state does it stay in while you are supposedly resting? Your nervous system has two primary modes. Mode 1, sympathetic, fight or flight. This is your stress response. When your nervous system is in sympathetic mode, your body is in survival state. Cortisol and adrenaline are elevated, your heart rate is higher, your muscles are slightly tensed, your digestion slows, your immune system is suppressed, your brain is scanning for threats. This mode evolved for emergencies, short bursts of danger where you need your body fully mobilized. After the threat passes, you calm down and recover. Mode 2, parasympathetic, rest and digest. This is your recovery state. When your nervous system is in parasympathetic mode, your body can actually heal. Digestion works properly, your heart rate slows, inflammation decreases, hormones rebalance, deep cellular repair happens. This is the mode your body needs to be in to truly recover. Here is the problem. Most people in the modern world are running in low-grade sympathetic activation almost constantly. Not the full panic of a life-threatening emergency, but a chronic, simmering stress response that never fully shuts off. Every notification that buzzes your phone is a tiny sympathetic trigger. Every alarming news headline activates your stress response. Every work email after 9 p.m., every argument you replay in your head before sleep, every social media post that makes you feel behind, inadequate, or anxious. All of these keep your nervous system in a mild state of fight or flight. And here's the key point. You can be lying in bed, eyes closed, technically asleep, and your nervous system can still be in stress mode. You wake up unrested because you never truly recovered. The exhaustion you feel in the morning is not from lack of sleep. It is from your nervous system running threat detection all night long instead of actually resting.
So why is this happening? Why are so many people stuck in this chronic sympathetic state? The answer comes down to three things that are unique to the world we live in right now. Reason 1, constant digital stimulation. Your nervous system was designed to handle a certain volume of information per day. For most of human history, that volume was relatively small, the things that happened in your immediate environment. Today, before you even get out of bed, you have already processed more information than your great-grandparents would encounter in a week. News from around the world, hundreds of social media posts, emails, messages, opinions, arguments, all of it flooding into your nervous system before you have had a single moment of quiet. Your nervous system cannot distinguish between a real threat and an upsetting news story. It cannot tell the difference between physical danger and an upsetting tweet. It processes all of it as input that requires a stress response. The result is a nervous system that is perpetually overstimulated, processing, reacting, and never getting a moment to down-regulate. Reason 2. The elimination of natural recovery windows. Before smartphones, there were natural recovery windows built into every day. The commute where you stared out the window, the waiting room where you just sat, the meal where you ate without screens, the walk where your mind wandered freely. These were not wasted time. These were the moments your nervous system used to down-regulate, to shift from sympathetic into parasympathetic mode, to actually recover. Now, every one of those windows has been filled with a screen. We have eliminated every natural recovery pause from our day and replaced them all with more stimulation. We are running a machine at full capacity with no scheduled maintenance and wondering why it keeps breaking down. Reason 3. Chronic stress has become invisible. This is perhaps the most insidious part. When stress is constant and never goes away, your nervous system stops registering it as stress. It becomes your new baseline, your new normal. You stop noticing the tension in your shoulders. You stop noticing your jaw is clenched. You stop noticing the low-level anxiety humming beneath everything you do. Because it is always there, you have adapted to it. But adaptation is not recovery. Adapting to chronic stress just means your body gets better at suppressing the symptoms while the underlying damage continues accumulating silently. You are not less stressed than you were 5 years ago. You are just less aware of how stressed you actually are.
Let's talk about what this chronic state actually does to you, because it goes far beyond just feeling tired. Your sleep quality collapses. When your nervous system is in chronic sympathetic activation, it directly disrupts your sleep architecture. Specifically, it reduces the amount of deep sleep and REM sleep you get, the two stages where your body and brain actually recover. You might be in bed for 8 hours, but if your cortisol is elevated and your nervous system is still scanning for threats, you will cycle through the shallower stages of sleep without ever dropping into the deep restorative stages. You wake up having technically slept, but having actually recovered very little. This is why you can sleep 9 hours and wake up feeling like you barely slept at all. The quantity of sleep is there, the quality of recovery is not. Your emotional regulation breaks down. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, emotional regulation, and impulse control, requires significant energy to function. When your nervous system is chronically exhausted, it begins rationing that energy, and the prefrontal cortex is one of the first things to get cut. This is why when you are exhausted, everything feels harder emotionally. You cry more easily, you get frustrated faster, you snap at people over small things. Your patience evaporates. Things that normally would not bother you feel completely overwhelming. This is not weakness. This is your prefrontal cortex running low on fuel because your nervous system has been spending it all on threat detection.
Your body starts breaking down. Chronic sympathetic activation has direct physical consequences that most people never connect to their nervous system. Your cortisol stays elevated, which disrupts your blood sugar, promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen, weakens your immune system, and accelerates cellular aging. Your digestion suffers because the gut is directly regulated by the vagus nerve, and when your nervous system is in stress mode, digestion slows and becomes erratic. Bloating, discomfort, irregular digestion, often a nervous system issue, not a diet issue. Your inflammation increases. Chronic sympathetic activation keeps your inflammatory response slightly elevated. Over years, this contributes to joint pain, brain fog, skin issues, and increased risk of chronic disease. Your motivation and drive disappear. Dopamine, your motivation and drive chemical, is extremely sensitive to nervous system state. When your system is chronically stressed, dopamine production and sensitivity both decline. You stop looking forward to things. Hobbies that used to excite you feel flat. Goals that once felt compelling now feel distant and meaningless. You know what you should be doing, you just cannot make yourself care enough to actually do it. This is not weakness. This is your prefrontal cortex running low on fuel because your nervous system has been spending it all on threat detection.
All right, this is the part that matters most. What do you actually do about this? I want to be very clear about something. This is not about adding more things to your already overwhelming to-do list. This is about removing the things that keep your nervous system in stress mode and adding small, consistent practices that teach it to come back down. Think of it like this. Imagine you have been holding your breath underwater for a very long time. The solution is not to try harder. The solution is to come up to the surface and breathe. That is what we are doing here. Step 1. Protect the first 30 minutes. The single highest leverage change you can make for your nervous system is protecting the first 30 minutes after you wake up. When you wake up, your cortisol is naturally at its daily peak. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and it is healthy and normal. Your nervous system is primed and highly receptive. What you feed it in this window sets your physiological baseline for the entire day. If the first thing you do is check your phone, news, social media, emails, messages, you flood your already primed nervous system with threat signals before it has had a single moment to orient to safety. You start your day in sympathetic mode, and it is very hard to come out of that once it is established. The rule? No screens for the first 30 minutes. Drink water. Sit outside if you can. Drink your coffee quietly. Let your nervous system wake up on its own terms before the world gets access to it. Step 2. Bring back the recovery windows. Remember those natural recovery windows that used to exist? The commute, the waiting room, the walk, that we filled with screens? We need to intentionally bring those back. At least 3 times per day, take a 5-minute window with no stimulation, no phone, no content, no music. Just sit, walk slowly, or stand quietly in natural light. 5 minutes, 3 times a day, 15 minutes total. This sounds almost insultingly small, but what you are doing in those 15 minutes is giving your nervous system a window to shift from sympathetic into parasympathetic mode. You are practicing coming down. Over time, your nervous system's baseline starts to shift. The chronic hum of stress gets quieter. Step 3. Prepare your nervous system for sleep. What you do in the 60 minutes before sleep has an enormous impact on the quality of your nervous system's recovery during the night. Most people spend those 60 minutes scrolling their phones, which keeps the nervous system in sympathetic activation right up until they close their eyes. Then they wonder why they do not sleep deeply. The goal is to deliberately shift into parasympathetic mode before sleep. The most effective method: physiological sigh. Double inhale through the nose, fully in, then a little more, followed by a long, slow exhale through the mouth. The extended exhale directly activates your vagus nerve and triggers parasympathetic response. 2 minutes of this before sleep measurably changes your physiological state. Also, no screens 45 minutes before bed. Keep your room cool and dark. Your nervous system uses body temperature as a signal for safety. A cool environment helps your system down-regulate for deep recovery sleep. Step 4. Train your stress container. Your nervous system's capacity to handle stress without tipping into chronic activation is like a container. Some people have a large container. They can absorb a lot before they tip over. Most people today have a very small container because it has never been trained. You build your container through consistent, low-level challenges followed by recovery. Cold water on your face in the morning, brief breathing exercises, short bursts of physical exercise, time in nature. Each of these mildly activates your sympathetic nervous system and then lets it recover over and over. This is the training. You are teaching your nervous system to activate and come back down efficiently. Over time, your container gets bigger. Everyday stress stops dysregulating you as easily. You become more resilient, not because life gets easier, but because your system gets stronger. You cannot think your way out of nervous system exhaustion. You have to practice your way out with small, consistent actions that signal safety to your body every single day.
I want to end with something important. The exhaustion you are feeling is not a personal failure. It is a completely logical response to an environment that was never designed for your nervous system to thrive in. You were handed a world of infinite stimulation, constant connectivity, unrelenting information, and zero instruction on what all of it was doing to your biology. Nobody taught you about your nervous system. Nobody explained the difference between sleep and recovery. Nobody warned you that filling every quiet moment with content was slowly eroding your capacity to actually feel okay. So you are not behind. You are not broken. You just have information now that you did not have before. And information changes everything. Starting tonight, before you reach for your phone, try the double inhale, long exhale. 2 minutes. Just breathe. Feel your nervous system shift. That shift is real. That is your parasympathetic system activating. That is recovery beginning. And tomorrow morning, before you check anything, give yourself 30 minutes. Drink your coffee. Sit quietly. Let your nervous system start the day on its own terms. These are not big, dramatic changes. They are the right changes, and they compound over time in ways that will surprise you. You deserve to feel rested, not just slept, actually rested. Your nervous system knows how to recover. It just needs you to stop preventing it. Start tonight. If this video resonated, share it with someone who always seems tired, and subscribe for more on how your nervous system shapes every area of your life.